We'll show you, but
it's a good flow. If you lose that rhythm, you will definitely be going backwards in a hurry. And the final question is, can someone beat Tomac? Musquin showed it in the moto, but no one has been able to take it overall. We know Tomac's strong here. We know a few riders love the sand. Be curious to see how this folds.
Fly Racing 30-second card is up. Melissa has that overhead, and the mechanics are going to move away from the starting line, and it will be all rider against rider now at Southwick. You see Tomac. He is next to Barsha on the inside of the doghouse. That's the starter box. Musquin is the next rider on the outside of that box alongside Baggett.
Yeah, so focus on that.
Center section. Ken Roczen in there on the inside of Tomac.
Ooh, all your heavy hitters next to each other. There might be some elbowing going on.
Let's go racing. 450 Moto 1 from Southwick. Bad jump for Barsha. He gets pinched off. Blake Baggett going to beat everyone into the first turn. Bogle going to make a run around the outside. Bogle's going to be credited with the Motorsport hole shot in his first race of the year. Battling it out. Roczen somehow snuck through and got by both Baggett and Bogle to take the lead.
Whoa, Roczen there. Do you see that? He got a bad kick there. He landed on the hole. Look at this. Just
Musquin coming out of nowhere. Where are these passes happening? Musquin nearly to second. Baggett's going to hold him off. Barsha threading the needle. I can't keep up.
I know. Right around the outside there. Justin Barsha. Good move there, not following. So a lot of our top riders up front. And I did see Tomac somewhere there, but he did get a little bit buried. We saw. I was focused on that center part of the start. I saw Roczen had a good jump. So he looked like he had it. Barsha now. Well, Barsha, it's like a slingshot off the start. It's like he's been wound up for so long that when they release him, he just takes off. He's so good in these opening laps. You know he's going to want to get around Roczen because he'll have clear track and run his own lines without having to worry about pulling tear-offs.
And you can hear the fans. They're excited as well. Barsha, originally out of upstate New York, raced here a lot growing up and has had great success at this track. His first ever professional win came here in 2009 in the 250 division. So he knows this track well, and these fans know him well. They're cheering him, but right now Roczen holding the point position. Musquin third. So those are three contenders to end Eli Tomac's win streak, and they're up front early, while Tomac was 11th as they came through our first transponder. So he's got a lot of work to do. And you mentioned vision, how tough that's going to be to make passes throughout a moto on a track like this.
But also look how quickly it spreads out. Sand tracks, they do it. It's almost like a mud race. It just, for whatever reason, it creates gaps between people. So they, look, I mean, this is opening lap. What is he? He's probably close to 10 seconds behind. And it could be worse because he's moving forward.
Got Heath Harrison there in the Phoenix Racing Machine. He gets around him. So quick passes for Tomac, but you're right. Damage is already done. One lap in the books here at Southwick, and he's already lost a lot of ground. He's right behind Bogle.
But on the flip side, if there's someone that can make up 10 seconds throughout the remaining of the race, it's this guy on camera. See how Bogle, great to see him back. Lovely hole shot. Obviously lost a few spots here on the opening lap, but as we could see, it was chaotic. He probably was like, hey man, I'm just happy to be here. And these guys are like all over the place going for it.
Look, this has been the story. Tomac kind of quietly starting this season off 5-0. Now we're thinking it's a real legit win streak. Can he do it again? He's had to pull it out in the clutch a couple of times. It was close at High Point. It was close at Buddy Creek. See the fans going to social media to talk about it. Here he is dancing down to the inside and a quick move on Bogle. And I think you're right, Grant. Bogle, he's here to log laps and get back in shape. He wasn't fighting Tomac too hard for it.
Well, he got a good start and he quickly found himself in the middle of this feeding frenzy on that opening lap. And that's one of the hardest things for a racer to come back. You've been doing your motos, you get used to, get in my pace, my rhythm. You can't get in the pace and rhythm when it's like a swarm of bees around you and everyone's going everywhere. Hard to get your focus. So for Bogle, it might be nice that it's calmed down a little bit. Maybe he can even try. I say try because it's very difficult to tag along with Tomac and see if he can kind of get a good rhythm going.
Yeah, remember, the rest of these riders are literally at mid-season form because we are midway through the championship. Well, for Bogle, it's round one. Bogle only raced a handful of Supercross races, started the year missing some races due to an injury, came back in San Diego in February, got landed on and broke his arm. So it has been a long road back for Bogle, who won the overall at Budds Creek last year. Meanwhile, Ken Roczen, we thought Barsha was going to push him on the first lap or two, but Roczen actually stretching it a bit.
Well, the other thing I'm noticing is Ken Roczen wearing, I mean, I don't know if it's exactly black, but he's wearing black gear out there. It's like an off black, but somehow sometimes riders do that as like a little statement. Hey, it's the hottest race of the year. Let me wear black and just prove that I'm actually a pretty gnarly dude and I'm in shape.
All right. Shout out to our old buddy Jeff Emig. That was one of his plays back in the day. Loved the hot weather. He'd run the flat black gear to show everybody, I'm not afraid of the heat.
Got this.
Yeah. And Roczen does have it right now.
Hey, guys.
Starting to feel it again now. Closing back up on Roczen. Good battle. First and second. And musquin is lurking in third. Baggett fourth. Tomac has climbed to fifth. Vogel sixth. Chris Canning. There's the local product. The Connecticut man is in eighth place right now, battling with Heath Harrison. Happens all the time here at Southwick. A rider you don't even see at any other races will show up just for Southwick and run near the top 5 inside the top 10. Piazza, same thing. He is ninth.
That's a great ride for him, Piazza.
Absolutely.
We don't see his name in the top 10 too often, so he's having a stellar day. Even in qualifying, he wasn't extremely quick, 29th fastest, but hey, good start and get a good flow. He's doing well.
Roczen and Barsha, no change in the gap right now. They've moved down a little bit on musquin, and we're going to have an idea of how far back. Oh, Tomac making the move on Baggett.
Oh, Baggett, a little mistake there. Doesn't look like he's kind of feeling that flow at the moment for Blake Baggett. Just looked a little uneasy there on TV. But Roczen, stellar ride. Ken Roczen comes from the GPs, and I say it over and over, if you're a world champion, you know how to ride sand. So Roczen, very technical, see him dancing around. Barsha, little less finesse, a little more aggression. That's his technique, but he really enjoys these conditions and does well. So I'm wondering if for Barsha right now, if he's just feeling like he's in a comfortable place. Anytime you see the leader in front of you, it helps you just kind of calm down, not stress. Also maybe saving a little energy, so if someone like Tomac comes with this ridiculous pace late in the race, he can dig deep and pick it up. Who knows?
Now the future stars of NASCAR are on MAV TV. Watch the ARCA Racing Series live. Visit mavtv.com for airtimes. Ken Roczen continues to lead here at the WIC 338, Southwick, Massachusetts. Pressure continuing to be applied by Justin Barsha. You got Roczen on the Honda HRC machine. The monster Yamaha of Barsha in second. And now the Red Bull KTM of Marvin Musquin beginning to surge from third. So all three of these riders are close. And all three need to pick up the pace because the Shark is in fourth, and he's coming, Eli Tomac.
Well, these front three are running a good pace, 2:16s for all of them. Almost, in fact, they all mirrored each other's lap times. Look at that, last lap around, 2:16.0, 2:16.0, 2:16.0 for the front three. Only problem is, Tomac's at the 2:15. He has been pretty much about a second a lap quicker than the riders ahead of him. He's still got about about 4 seconds to catch musquin. And then once he gets there, sort of feel like everyone's going to be in the heat of the moment.
Barsha close to Roczen, but still not quite close enough to look to make a pass. It's musquin, actually, of this group that has been the quickest. He has gotten nearly to the rear tire now of Barsha. So we could be looking at a three-rider duel for the lead. It's a scenario you want to see. Three riders with a lot of experience, a lot of race wins, and then Tomac trying to catch them. It has led to some spectacular races so far in 2018. Tomac has won all but 2 of the motos, though, this year, and all of the weekend overalls. Actually, they still have a pretty good gap on Tomac right now. So they are free to battle each other. Tomac's not quite in the rear view. Musquin showing Barsha a look. Down to the inside. Now going to shade outside, side by side. Well, that line worked out brilliantly for Marvin. It got him right behind Barsha.
It's getting close now. Still plenty of racing left in this moto. This is almost that calm before the storm.
And now Barsha down to the inside on Roczen. And he might have surprised himself on that one. That line presented himself. He kept it wide open. He takes the lead.
Gotta love how Barsha handles his racing. The minute he got that wheel, or that, you could hear that KTM of musquin behind him,
Whoa, big hook and a kick for Barsha. Roxon's got another shot to take it back. No, Barsha's going to hold him at bay. He fights his way to get to the inside and block Roxon in the next corner.
Yeah, we can't see what's happening there, but it looks like a big hole on the inside of kind of creeping up that hill there. See a few riders bottoming out and losing momentum. Look at this.
Oh, it's
just
such great
everyone
racing.
is going for it. No one wants to be eating the roost at this point.
Musquin doing everything he can to get past Roxon, leaping over that crest and able to shut the door and take the move. Wow, that was aggression from Marvin Musquin to get to second.
And all of a sudden, it just looks like, oh, maybe Roxon's not that fast. No, it's not that. He's running solid, good pace. I just think Barsha had had enough of the roost and realized, hey, the pressure's coming from behind, and there's Tomac coming. It's time to pull the pin and get going. Musquin, sensing the same thing, knew he had to go for it.
Well, he certainly went for it. That's straight sending it, as the kids would say, over that rise. And he continues to hang it out. Big line to the outside here from Musquin. Too far outside, can't make the move. Going to try it again. He has just been linking outsides to outsides. Marvin, while Barsha's running the insides and Roxon still lurking in third. Really rough section of sand whoops here. Barsha able to protect the inside again.
Well, the heat's been rising all day long, and I feel like the same in the moto. The heat's starting to pick up. This is awesome. Look at that. There comes Tomac. We're about to have a four-way battle for the lead.
Musquin. This is an area where he made up a whole bunch of ground the previous lap on Barsha. At that point, Barsha was second. Look at Barsha. He slowed up on the entrance to the corner.
How about Tomac? He really just made the pass on Roxon. He wasted no time.
Roxon trying to come back, can't protect it. Just like that, Eli Tomac is on the scene. The shark is in the water. He's already gotten one, and the other two are right in front of him.
Yeah, well, that blood red Honda was perfect for the shark to come up on. He disposed of that very quickly. And Roxon probably going, man, what do I got to do? These guys have just seem to be elevating every time. Barsha very comfortable here. Marvin, a lot of experience. That's not a good line from Barsha. We saw him make a mistake there the previous lap. It's giving Musquin an opportunity. Barsha closed that door. There's some big bumps on the inside there, but the way that hill sort of chicanes, it creates a bit of a one-line situation. Don't look over your shoulder, Marvin. You're not going to like what you see. Look at this.
Oh, Tomac, there just wasn't any running room in that corner. He entered wide, hoping it would pay off. That rut didn't work, but he is absolutely right there to put pressure on Musquin. And Roxon trying to hang with him as well. A great four-rider pack up front of the Kubota Southwick National. Boy, we thought that Marvin was unorthodox running these outsides. Tomac is all over the place.
Tomac just trying to go wherever they go, looking for lines.
He's got a big drive here, Grant.
On a track like this, you can go the long way around and carry momentum because it's also smoother. It's not always the fastest line, but sometimes it actually becomes the fastest line as the day goes on. Barsha was trying to make a run for it. Musquin said not so quick. Well, he's caught between a rock and a hard place. He's got to put the hammer down now. He can't bide his time and go, I'm comfortable here. Look, he wants it.
Ooh, nice little dump to the inside by Marvin. Set up on the outside, move to the inside. Looking for a daylight and a chance to make the pass on Barsha. Barsha's so good at riding defensively, keeping that Yamaha wide, not letting Musquin get a wheel on him. And Tomac is right there. Musquin had to get back to the inside to block him.
This is awesome. 4 manufacturers. It's almost like the 250 class. Different riders, different techniques, different brands, different you name what, countries of birth. Doesn't matter right now. These guys are flying. Wow.
Musquin, that's the same area where we went flying off the track last year with a huge crash. He shrugs that off and he uses it to take the lead from Barsha. Wow.
Yeah, he just launched it out of that pit there. Really good there. Now, Tomac, he's going to want to do the same thing. Get around Barsha quick. He's got the inside. I don't think Barsha even knew that was coming.
Wow, so Tomac mowing through this field in a hurry. Half of the race, basically. It has taken him to go from 11th to 2nd, and that means he had to pass Baggett, he had to pass Roxon, he had to pass Barsha. That's not easy to do, but this is what he has been doing all season long. Now one man stands between Tomac and the win. It's Musquin. Could this be his toughest challenge of all?
I get that feeling it's going to be a 2-man battle for the win. Tomac's got the pace. Musquin's got the pace. I know they've got the endurance in this condition. Not saying that Barsha doesn't, but Barsha rides with a very aggressive technique. And sometimes with that, no matter how fit you are, it's hard to maintain that, not make mistakes, or keep it going, keep that rhythm and flow. So look, already starting to put a little bit of daylight in the front two. I think Roxon's just realized that these guys they're just sort of pushing a little next level for him at the moment. Still great to have Roxon out there considering everything he's been through.
Well, before practice, we were talking to Roxon, and he kind of indicated that. He thinks he's riding pretty well, but he feels like these guys are peaking. They've been racing for a year and a half, where he has essentially been off most of that time, and they're just a level above him right now in each category just because of all the time. So he's not getting discouraged by it, but certainly knows it's going to be a long climb to make up this gap that they have on him right now. Same thing, Tomac's fixing the gap.
Exactly.
Basically,
while these guys were all sand surfing, he was couch surfing. That, unfortunately, is not going to help anything, especially when you're away from racing that long. Shoot, can you believe we're halfway through this race? 15 minutes into it? What does that mean?
Okay, well, in 15 minutes, we'll have 2 laps to go. We'll also tell you could save 15% or more on insurance if you call Gutco. So take your pick. Watch the race. Save some money on insurance. You might want to keep watching, though, because the battle for the lead is on. Musquin holding off Tomac. It's going to be close. Does Tomac have a spot picked out to try to get Musquin? He's right there. You see Roxon is still with Barsha in a good battle for third. Now an inside line from Eli. Marvin knew it was coming. He's trying to hold the outside line, the momentum as much as he can. Able to make it happen. Musquin still in the #1 spot.
Yeah, Tomac just... We always know he can be ridiculous fast in some sections, but that downhill, he is just... Yeah, he's just able to do something that these other riders haven't figured out. And what makes it interesting is the reason that is more technical than it appears on TV. There is a bit of off-camber, so your wheels are pushing and they're sliding away, and they want to go from underneath you. So between, I mean, we also got to give that team some credit. These guys got that bike dialed in. He feels very comfortable. All these teams try their best to get their riders as comfortable as possible. So it's a combination of rider giving good feedback to the crew so that they can make the right adjustments, as well as just having the right crew and people around you. Tomac, he's dialed and solid. He's very comfortable in what I call those sketchy areas, or areas where it's hard to push, easy to make a mistake.
And Musquin weathers that storm, pulls it back to about 8 to 10 bike lengths on Tomac. You see Tomac can close back in that same section of the track when they get to it a couple of corners from now.
Oh, you know he'll be back on that rear wheel anytime soon. It's just hard sometimes to be in the roost zone the entire time. You have to drop back some back, get the dirt out of your face, pull a tear off, and then sort of remount, sort of do that charge all over again.
Don't forget to catch the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, premier national touring sanctioning body for dirt late models, next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, only on MAV TV. Battle for the lead continues to rage while we're at break here at MAV TV. Eli Tomac in this section got very close to Marvin Musquin. They were wheel to wheel, but Musquin was able to hold him at bay, so no change, at least yet. Into the second half of this moto we go. It continues to be the Frenchman leading Tomac. Marvin has won 2 of the last 4 motos in this series, but the overall wins both weekends still have gone to Tomac. So these two starting to establish themselves once again as the 1-2 punch in this championship. What do you see there? A little mistake?
Yeah, a little mistake from Marvin. He was sort of running the crest of that inner berm, didn't have the bike land over, so you get that pause with the rider sort of balancing on top, not able to attack it, and allowed Tomac really to get right back to the rear fender. See those holes there, just really upsetting the bikes, going up that hill that sort of bends right and then into this big left sweeper and then down the hill. These braking bumps, they're not huge, but because you're going downhill, they really kick the rear end up. Your bike is all over the place on the track, like this old lapper trying to get out of the way. Good job there.
Only slowed Tomac up a little bit. But boy, Tomac, as soon as he got to Roxon, made the pass. As soon as he got to Barsha, made the pass. It has been a lot tougher dealing with Musquin here. 6 or 7 minutes so far for Musquin to deal with this pressure and deal with it pretty well.
Yeah, he's been doing pretty good with it. But Marvin, I think he's just learned to be able to ride with the fact that Tomac, if he doesn't get the start, is going to run you down or bring the heat. And what's the best thing you can do? Do what Marvin's been doing. Push with everything you got. Don't roll over. Don't let him by. Don't let him get some confidence.
Well, the starts certainly have not been there for Tomac this year. He has one hole shot, but it's not just that he hasn't hole shot the races. There have been far too many starts where we haven't even seen him in the pack do the first couple of corners, and that was again the situation here. So he has had to do a lot of work just to get to this position. He has shown the ability this year when he needs to drop the lap times to do it. He did it, and he got there. But getting around Marvin has been tough. This is about as close as they have been in the last 3 laps.
Yeah, this is where Eli is strong, this part of the track. And as we've seen, right off that finish line, down that sort of off-camber left bowl turn that sweeps back to the start straight. Yellow flags. Probably, lap rider there. Didn't see who that was. But watch, this is where this is where Eli is good. He'll get right up onto Marvin, and then he's fast up the inside. He's thinking about it. And I think Marvin, smart rider he is, covers that inside line, doesn't even give him a chance.
No other changes on the track right now. It's still Barsha, Roxon, 3rd, 4th, then Baggett, Bloss, Chris Canning, the Connecticut native, Privateer, running well in 7th place. Lorenzo Lacruccio, Weston Pike, and Cooper Webb in his first race back from injury. Round out your top 10. Tomac is right there.
He really is. See, they're using the roll-off system. So I always feel like riders that have a lot of confidence in their starting ability, they'll grab Teros, not planning to use many. I think Tomac knows in the back of his mind, my kink in my armor is probably my start. He chose to go with the roll-offs, but at the same time, smart move. You know, you're putting yourself in a position to go, hey, worst case scenario, I need more clear vision. I'm going to go with roll-offs just in case I don't get the start. We saw, well, it appeared to me, Alex Martin was wiping his goggles at the end, which means he ran out of his random tear-offs. He can only put so many.
Musquin has done it again. Every time Tomac gets close, he is able to respond and then keep it at this distance. Now, you mentioned, of course, Tomac doesn't want to be close all the way around the track because of the roost. Let's see if he's picking his spots here. Yeah, he gets right back up on Musquin now. Looks like Justin Hill about to go a lap down. So, first tough 450 moto for Hill since switching to that class. He's been pretty solid in the top 10 all 4 times out previous to this. Not working out for him today on the Auto Trader JGR Suzuki. Back to the leaders, Musquin and Tomac. Eli is back to stalking mode.
I think with Justin Hill being an Oregon native, they're used to riding on lava rock, not a sandbox. Probably a little out of his element, but still out there getting some precious track time. This is the part of the race where you're going to come up on a lot of lappers, and sometimes they're just not too aware that there could be 2 riders. So. And it can help and hurt you being first or second when you hit lap traffic. Sometimes the first guy, the lapper doesn't realize that they're like.
Well, one didn't help Marvin, or sorry, didn't help Eli, but then the next didn't help Marvin, so it's even up and right back where it was, which is Tomac right behind Musquin. 7 minutes and 2 laps to go in this moto. Has to feel like it has taken forever for Musquin. The clock clicking slowly for him, because he's dealing with Eli. Eli's going to make a big push around the outside. There's mechanic Brian Kranz cheering his man on. Oh, Marvin feet off the pace, doesn't lift off the throttle, holds on to the lead.
Yeah, that's why I was saying those high-speed sections, the bikes dance around so much. These guys grip very tight, not so much with the arms. You do it with your arms, you're going to wear yourself out and go nowhere in a hurry. You've got to use your legs to grip the bike. You saw Marvin was doing that. The bike fishtailed so hard and threw his leg off. That's when you know these bikes are twitching and dancing all over the place. But just like the champions these guys are, you'd think it would scare the average guy. But these guys, they just grab a handful and then pull a few bike lengths, get the heart rate up.
Marvin Musquin actually got quicker after that mistake, and it stretched it back out to 1.5 seconds on Tomac. Tomac's going to have to mount yet another attack. Close back in on Marvin. They clearly have different sections of the track that work for them. This section a little bit better for Eli. And he has closed it back up, although he needs to be a little bit closer than this. Both riders using the outside in this corner. Tomac not going as high up in the berm as Marvin. Stays out of some of those holes. He's right there. Well, the heat has picked up in several ways here. Feels like with the humidity and the 93-degree temperature, 101 degrees here at Southwick. It has also picked up as far as the battle for the lead. Eli Tomac's gotten close a few times. Marvin Musquin keeps answering.
Yeah, this is about as big as it's been, since this sort of the battle brought everyone together. So maybe Eli spitting some dirt out of his mouth. That's the other thing. When you're breathing so heavy, you got your mouth open sometimes in that roost. And then you get dirt down your throat. It makes it even harder to breathe because, yeah, you get my point. But get a clear vision, think about things, catch your breath, mount an attack. Kudos to Marvin Musquin. He's just been doing what he can be, all he can do, which is don't look back, don't make the big mistakes, put your head down, run your lines. He knows that Tomac can see everywhere he's going, study, learn, but Marvin just sticking to what he believes works for him.
Yeah, still plenty of time for Tomac to mount another attack on Musquin. 4 minutes left in this moto. Barsha and Roxon, no change back there, third and fourth. Baggett fifth. Bloss, Canning, Lecurcio, Pike, Webb. Rounding out the top 10. Phil Nicoletti is 11th. Henry Miller is 12th. Let's show you the start of this one again. It's the Motorsport Pole Shot Replay.
Okay, to the right of the doghouse. You'll go to the first turn. See, he's already on the gas. Uses the outside just to bounce off of. Look, good speed through here. See, he's already on the gas, harder than anyone. Boom. That's all it took.
They gave it to Bogle. Boy, Roxon certainly was close as well. Speaking of close, it's tightened up again. Musquin trying to deal with lap traffic. Big push around the outside by Tomac. He's going to run the high line. Wide open to that Kawasaki. Oh, the holes were too big.
Yeah, sometimes you just, if the suspension starts compressing into one of those holes, it just robs it. Musquin went wide there, squared that corner up. Tomac got a good drive. He's still close. This is where Tomac is strong. From this point, all the way around past the finish line, down that hill.
Tomac, high line. Using the momentum again. Lines come together in the middle of the corner and then back out. This will set Tomac up the inside of the next corner, but Musquin knows it. And he keeps getting back to the right to prevent the pass from happening. Another lap clicks off. Another lap led for Marvin Musquin.
Yeah, these guys now just really sort of dropping the field. Barsha putting in a great ride, though. He's in a distant third. 24 seconds off this lead group. Roxon, almost a half a minute. Baggett now getting close to Ken Roxon for that top, well, for fourth place. Bloss, Canning, Crucio, Webb in the top 10. Good for him. Pike rounds out your top 10.
It's amazing how close Tomac can get in the section before the start, and then somewhere between the start and the mechanics area, which is 2 corners, Musquin is able to stretch it out each time, and then Tomac has to go back to work.
I think part of it is just like when you watch, whether it's NASCAR, car racing, when they're breaking a corner, it's like, oh, he's so close, and then when they accelerate, you go, oh man, he's pulling away. A lot of that is just the nature of
so we get that high-speed straightaway.
Yeah, straight away. But I do agree with you. I think Marvin's been able to get through there maybe a little bit better than Tomac. And then, as you can tell, all of a sudden Tomac finds his part of the track, and he's just eating roost.
He is right on him again. And tries to hug it a little bit closer inside, avoiding some of that sand roost.
And also trying to stay out of the roost so you can see where he's going. Sometimes you have to roll off instead of see Marvin on the gas, telling the lappers, get out of the way. We've got a battle for the lead here.
Oh, this is getting intense. Only 1 minute before the 2-lap card comes out. I don't know if they're going to make it. Could be only 2 laps to go at the end of this lap. So Musquin doing a brilliant job dealing with Tomac. And the lappers did not do Tomac any favors through that area. So Marvin stretches it back out again. Critical juncture. All the way at the end of this straightaway is one of Tomac's strong points. But can he get close enough to execute a pass down there?
Doesn't appear to be close enough this lap. And once again, like the 250 riders, they're going to come up a little bit short and getting that 2-lap card. That looks like Bogle.
Yeah, that's Bogle. So whole shot to 18th. That's welcome back to racing for Bogle, coming off of a serious upper arm injury. So he came out here to race his way back into shape. That's what he's working on right now. And this section right here, it's worked out well for Marvin.
They came by with about 25 seconds to go. So that also gives you an indication of how much the track slowed, because we could argue and say, well, these guys' pace is a little bit off the 250F riders. But lap times certainly going in the wrong direction. That section has gotten quite gnarly.
Tomac a little bit closer than he was one lap ago. Yep.
I think he's trying to mimic exactly what Musquin did through there. Like you said, certainly didn't lose as much ground as he normally does. He's strong under braking into these turns. His patience is now done. He's been eating roost from Marvin this entire race.
2.5 laps to go. The fans absolutely loving this battle here at the Wick. Big outside line push for Tomac. Switches back to the inside of the exit of the corner. Marvin's going to have to go outside to block it, and he does.
Yeah, smooth. He has to do that, Marvin. He heard Tomac there. Tomac just going for it, trying everything he can, but Marvin always just able to close the door so far. This is when the intensity picks up. You don't wait for your favorite spot. You're going to push and try and make a spot.
Tomac tried to cross over the ruts that were in that corner. It wasn't quick, but I'm actually surprised he did not lose that much time.
It was a combination of he was going to try something, and I think he made a little mistake. But like you said, we've seen Bosch be very good at that, coming to a corner and bank off the entrance and just go straight to the exit. Sort of really square up the corner, as we call it, rather than arc it and round it off. You make it into sort of a two-turn process, an entrance and an exit.
Yeah, worth the risk for Tomac, who's 3 or 4 bike lengths behind. Certainly didn't lose a ton of ground. And again, we're hitting that long straightaway in the back. A lot of fans up along the fence lines. Highest speed section of the track. Ooh. This is where Tomac has done a lot of damage, but it's also where Musquin took the lead from Barsha earlier.
Yes, somebody's bike just expired. Looked like a steam engine more than anything else.
Yeah, smoke screen to deal with here for Marvin. The bike is still running. Oh, this is as close as Tomac has been. Can Marvin get to the inside again? Yes.
Yeah, almost a little bubble there.
I think that's Heath Harrison, who was up in the top 10 for most of this moto. His bike is steaming. He finally gets out of the way. Musquin and Tomac continue wheel-to-wheel action here at the Wick.
They just got the 2-lap card. Less than 2 laps to go.
Oh, the crowd is going crazy here. This is what they wanted to see. 2 phenomenal first motos with battles coming right down to the wire. Tomac is all over Musquin.
They are pushing. That section's gotten really treacherous in there. That was the fastest they've been through there in several laps. They're laying it all out on the table at the moment. As hard as Marvin pushes, Eli seems to be right there. Look at him, so strong into some of these downhill, off-cambered, tight turns.
Tomac the wide line into this pit. They're going to jump back into it again. Great spectator section there. You can almost hear them echoing through the valley. Outside line for Tomac. Big charge. Musquin's able to beat him in the spot.
He was going to go for it, but Musquin, almost with that sixth sense, knew he was going to be there. Just hit the brakes and shut the door on him. And Eli's probably thinking, man, last time we went to the outside, he ran me there. That time I tried to go to the inside. It seems like no matter what Eli throws at Marvin, he's been able to have an answer to this point. Lap and a half to go. They're flying. These guys are pushing hard.
This is just fun to watch. There's really not much to say except 2 masters of the game right now. Tomac doing everything right to try to find running room, and Musquin doing everything right to block it. And it is incredible how much roost Tomac has taken on throughout this race.
Oh, yeah, you can tell. Probably when he gets an opportunity, you'll see him reach up for that roller. Usually, watch out of this corner, there's a little opportunity out of one of these jumps. Tomac close. He is close.
Yep. Musquin airing out the top of that jump, even had feet off the pegs, trying to get the bike back where he wanted. Big push around the outside from Tomac.
He's trying everything. Marvin keeps closing the door.
Oh, who's going to get the exit of the corner? Finally, Tomac is able to execute the pass.
Man, that was close. Musquin went to go shut the door, but he couldn't because Tomac had pushed his way through. Great race. You see the blue flag. That's like lap of please move. White flag. Last lap. Here we go.
And musquin not giving up. He's giving it everything he has. White flag out, as you mentioned. Trying to get Tomac back. You might as well let it all hang out now.
You got to. You've given it everything you've got. This is a huge mental game. It's also be big for a point swing. Instead of losing 3 for musquin, gaining 3 at this point of the season, it all makes a huge difference. It's a 6-point swing. But
Marvin! Marvin is down. He hits the back of that jump. Little pin down there. How big a lead do they have?
He's good. He's got big enough gap. Their pace has just dropped the rest of the field.
I see.
But the lap before, I just said how gnarly they were through there. Ooh, his bars are bent. So don't take too long getting going, Marvin. Great ride from Eli. Said they were pushing it. That section is very tough, and that time it caught Marvin out.
Wow. All right, take us through this, Grant.
He just lands, just about a foot to the left of where he normally would, and he lands right in the cush instead of next to it. And then it sucks up when your suspension compressor, you see the sort of front end tuck and dig into that sand, and then it just rebounded and threw him off the bike. Not a hard crash, but that was purely pushing through sections where riders are not comfortable going that sort of pace. But, you know, when you're at this level, you don't have a choice. Here, the crowd, they've enjoyed this. They take their hats off to this man right here. Got to take your hat off to Marvin. Between the two of them, they make great racing.
The legacy continues to grow here for Eli. Another come-from-behind win, another race that's going to go in the column for him. But as we've been saying all year, was it nearly as easy as it appears? Yeah, he's going to win this moto, but he leads essentially one lap of it. Made the pass as the white flag was coming out. Just a power move around the outside, refused to lift. And then it was cool to see Marvin try to come back on him. Musquin, by the way, is okay. He's still 14 seconds ahead of Barsha, so he's still solid in second. And maybe we get another showdown on Moto 2 for the overall.
Oh, you sure hope so. It's been awesome to watch. You can tell their pace. I mean, they're catching up to strong riders in points playing positions doing well. I don't know if Eli knows that Marvin went down, but he's got this.
He does. Eli Tomac, a spectacular first moto win here at Southwick. He makes the pass with 1 lap to go. What a hard charge from him. The goggles come off immediately because he was eating roost on every single lap of this race but one. But he's got to salute the fans. They were probably powering him around this track. Crowd was going crazy for that action. Musquin going to roll across in second, but let's go through the pass finally that Tomac was able to make for the lead.
Oh, this was just a power move. Look at Eli. He was dabbling with the throttle going into that turn. Look, Marvin tries to go. They actually make contact, but Eli just got such a good drive coming out of that corner.
He's got to get cooled off and debriefed with the team. That was a heck of an effort for Eli.